Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends talk about a crazy amount of horror films every day in the month of October. My name is Alec.
I'm Erik.
Ooh, listen to that, Erik.
Yeah. Oh, I said by episode 10 I'd get a mic, and look at us.
Sounds
Promises
good.
were fulfilled, words were kept, and now I have a mic, and hopefully I don't sound as muffled and shitty. Or maybe you prefer it that way, where I don't talk as much.
I think you sound fantastic, and we couldn't have
Thanks,
picked a
Alec.
better episode for you to get a mic, because today,
I love
we're-
that. No, I just love that. It's like, Pumpkinhead is when you get a mic.
yeah, this is a great episode for it. So,
I know.
we're talking today about the 1988 film Pumpkinhead, which was directed by Stan Winston. What did you think of Pumpkinhead again, Erik?
Man, it was honestly, I liked the start of it, and there was a part of the movie where I just kind of like, what did I watch? Okay, I had to should I rewind it? I feel like I lost track of this movie. Yeah, dude, it is what it is, man. This movie's it's something, you know. Play a game. Can you give me the synopsis of Pumpkinhead in 2 sentences?
2 sentences?
Just give me like if you were to say like, hey, what's Pumpkinhead?
There's a blood pact that a witch in the woods can get revenge on people with.
Uh huh.
How about
Yeah.
you? You do it better. Do it better.
Some dude gets his kid killed by a bunch of people, seeks revenge by digging up a demon thing, and then makes a blood pact. Yeah, it's just hard to describe it to somebody. I just realize it's really hard.
I feel like it starts really strong and then it just like goes to crazy town so fast, and then like a lot of things just jump really quick. Like they don't really, they're not justified, like people getting killed so fast, and I don't know. I like it for what it is. It's
Yeah. Well, we have fun with this movie. This is like a inside joke. We always do like that there Pumpkinhead. Like,
well,
ooh, the Pumpkinhead.
the reason why I think we said that is so the last time we watched this, we've watched the movie, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 times together, and I think we're always a little shibbied out, if you know what I mean, when we watch this movie, because I don't remember a lot of it. But
Yeah.
the one thing I do remember is that girl goes, like, randomly when they're all teasing the little boy, and they're all just like, "Pumpkinhead,
Oh
Pumpkinhead,"
yeah, like the
like,
redneck
"Leave him
like
alone."
people.
Yeah, and then that one girl's like,
Pumpkinhead gonna
"Pumpkinhead."
get you.
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead's gonna get you.
But then do you notice that one girl at the end after she's like, "Knock it off," and they all stop, that one girl just goes, "Pumpkinhead."
Yeah. Pumpkinhead gonna get you. Or like
I
something
think
like
that's
that.
where we got it from.
Yeah, no, exactly.
The title alone is even pretty sick.
I timed it, dude. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of just like actors one by one, screenplay by, written by, inspired by, poetry by, directed by, produced by,
Oh,
based off the poem of blah blah blah.
I
Our gaff guy is like
right, no, I mean that too, the title sequence, but I mean the actual title, Pumpkinhead, like, that's not, it's kinda stupid. It doesn't have anything to
I mean, it
really do.
doesn't really resemble a pumpkin. I think the thing is that he's in a pumpkin graveyard, right? It's a pumpkin patch graveyard. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't, dude. I don't know. He's Pumpkinhead. You know,
No, I
he's gonna
know.
get you.
I do though, after watching this, I love Lance Henriksen. He
Oh yeah.
is the
Oh
man.
yeah, dude. He's the man. He's the man.
Yeah.
And he's also, fun fact. I looked up the guy. I think his name's Tom Woodruff Jr. He does the Pumpkinhead costume and special effects. I think he's won an Academy Award before. But he also was Alien. He did that, and also Hendrickson's in that in
Yep.
Aliens. So and Alien, yeah,
Well, Stan Winston, the director of this, is the special effects designer for The Terminator, for Jurassic Park, for Alien, all
yo,
that.
yeah,
So, that's the thing. I feel like this guy, Stan Winston, he was just on the set doing awesome makeup work, I mean, special effects and all of, like, creating monsters and everything, and then he's like, "I could do a movie. I could do
yeah,
it." And because this is his directorial debut, and I'm sure he, like, cherry-picked Lance Henriksen. He's like, "Oh, you're really good in that, like, do you wanna come work on this movie with, it's my first movie?" And the scripts, I couldn't even imagine reading the script and being like, "Yo, this kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense, man."
yeah.
Still though, the opening though, it's freaking sad, dude. The little kid, like when he gets killed, like
Yeah,
it's
that kid's
really,
really cute. He's like Stuart Little kid on steroids. I was like, can you find a cuter kid in overalls with a cuter dog? You can't.
yeah,
That
man.
kid's really adorable, and so is that dog. Dog's perfect. Same. I looked up trivia for this too, Alex. Same dog from Gremlins. I guess I don't
Really
know. Like he was in both movies. Yeah,
good for him. Dude,
that dog's got a quite the resume.
all right. Well, first of all, I'm so glad that they say that the asshole douchebag guy who kills the kid, that's his brother, because I'm like,
That's
who's hanging out with
that's
this
not
fucking
well, no,
asshole?
it's like, what the hell was his name? Joel? He's like, Joel, like, why is Joel such an asshole? He's like, he's my brother. It's like, well, leave him the fuck at home. Like, no
Yeah,
one likes him. No one likes this guy.
no, and what is with his girlfriend? Why is she with him? Like, what kind of
Ugh.
fucking awful relationship is
And it
this?
sounded like he just hit somebody else like a couple weeks ago or something, right? What did they say? It's like he just got in an accident and hit some old lady. It's like, jeez Louise, like
He's on probation, and then he's drinking and driving, and
turning
then
the grocery store into the X Games. Like, I
dude,
don't know.
hitting people, killing kids, like, this guy's the real obviously the real villain, and, the good justification for the revenge. Super, super quick, though. I don't think you've seen this, but do you know who that actor what he played in 2001?
Joel?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He was the neighbor to George Bush on the sitcom created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, That's My Bush.
Oh man, I would never ever guess that. I
Dude,
don't even. Yeah, that's so random.
I
That's
love
the
that.
most random thing we've said so far.
But I was watching the and I'm like, "Why does that guy's face look so familiar?" And I looked him up. I'm like, "Oh, that's George Bush's neighbor who comes over and is just like, 'Hey, George!'" Like, sort of,
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Good point. Good point.
uh, but he's such a freaking douchebag in this, man. I hate him in this.
You know
Everything.
what I had a moment of too watching this. So like this movie has like a lot of oranges. Like there's orange in that movie, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of blues, like dark blues that happen. Like when he goes to the witch's hut or whatever.
Mm, mm.
But the noise Pumpkinhead makes when he comes
Yeah.
to get you. If you do you remember that noise in Independence Day when like the alien's about to read your mind? It's the same exact noise.
It's just it sounds like cicadas or
Like
like
like flies in the
yeah,
air kind
sounds
of.
like
Yeah.
grasshoppers, like, in the distance, like, in a field is what it sounds.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's that. Like, I'm like, oh man, that, I just couldn't get that out of my head that that noise is the same as that. It sounded similar, at least.
That was pretty cool. I mean, honestly, man, like, the plot aside, like, there is a lot of good stuff in this movie. Like, dude, my favorite thing, honestly, the witch looks fantastic.
How you think? How old is? You think she's still around?
I actually have no idea.
I mean, she was old when Ed Harley was a kid. You know,
Well, the
he's like, there's
character.
an old woman who used to live here when I was a boy. I was like, when you were a boy, she was old. Jeez.
Damn, yeah, she doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, so I can't even look her up.
Yeah.
But the makeup on her, her acting, that was to me like the best scene in the movie is just like the witch. Love the witch, and I loved
Yeah, I liked her hut. It reminded me of what's that called in Banjo Kazooie? Like
the Grendels.
Bubble Gloop Swamp. Remember that in Banjo Kazooie?
Yeah,
Throwback. That's all I thought about when like he went to her hut. I was like, oh, it looks like Bubble Gloop Swamp.
dude, everything looks good. The atmosphere looks good, like that broken down church, there's smoke everywhere. Like you believe this is like a weird fantasy world, like in like Oklahoma or wherever the hell they filmed it. They did a really good job with the makeup, and I mean, obviously, with Stan Winston being such an awesome special effects guy, for him to direct it, like this movie does have that going
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
What do you think? Do you think it's like a kind of a ripoff of Pet Cemetery? Like the idea of it is like it just adds another layer to it where it's like, hey, you bury someone here or you dig someone up here, and then you know what I mean? It's kind of like, there's a little Pet Cemetery vibe to it.
For sure. I mean, like, a kid gets killed and he tries to figure out a way to bring him back. But that I actually really thought this was a cool idea. So it's basically like somebody who's been freshly killed, and then the host basically has to give their blood, and then they can put this like almost like dormant demon that needs to have something that was killed recently, somebody that wants revenge, and they need their blood to tie them together. It's kind of a cool idea.
No, it's definitely a cool idea, and I like how like he has to like he decides like halfway through the killings that he needs to stop this thing, and
Yeah.
it's a good ride, you know, it's a good ride.
Once they get to the cabin, eh, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like, they're all the characters, like, none of them are making sense. Why aren't they all just like, yo, get the fuck away from us, Joel? Like, stop it. Like, they're
Oh yeah,
letting,
well, like what's his end game? Like Joel's like, we're not leaving the cabin, all right, until like when we need groceries again. We're gonna leave here, Joel. Like
forever. We're all
he's
gonna
like, no
die.
one's leaving the cabin. I'm on probation. It's like, no, Joel, like we gotta go tell someone you killed this kid. He's like, no, the kid's fine. I saw him. Like, no, dude, like we're gonna leave and you're gonna get in deep shit.
On top of it, everybody else gets killed in the most horrific ways, and he's the only one that really deserves it. So you're kind of like,
He's the last one like killed, right? And then the good
wow.
guy, Steve, is like the first one killed, like instantly. Instantly.
Yeah,
It's
his
like that's
brother.
not the order.
I know. It's like he's the only all of these guys are good except for Joel, and Joel's the third to last. He's the last one that gets killed. But then yeah, you've got the two couple, like the yuppie couple that got locked in the closet, and then that one boy. But yeah, man. Oh, dude, the homeless guy from Back to the Future, that's the dad or whatever of all the inbred kids.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
dude, could you
The
imagine like in the
Deliverance kids?
in the 80s, he's just like, yeah, I pretty much play homeless people and like inbred people and just anything that isn't good. Like I do that.
What does Ed Harley like sell them? And what is that feed for the
Feeds.
animals or something that they
Yeah,
have? The
I think it
pigs?
yeah, I think it's like pig food and chicken food and shit.
You think like places like that exist? I mean, probably like Deliverance towns, I guess.
Yeah, man. Again, it's just like present days. You're like, all right, we know it's 1988 movie coming out, but
Yeah,
in
stay away.
yeah, I want to know where it takes place because they filmed it actually in California, but it like doesn't look like it would take place in California. I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere West Coast for sure. I don't know where.
I feel like it would be like West Virginia or something. I don't know.
You know what I thought was funny that I picked up? I just picking the movie apart at this point.
Yeah.
But you know, when the kid gets hit, and then like less than 30 seconds later, they're like, "Oh my god!" They run up to the kid. He's like, "He's cold." He's like, "How? No, he's not
Yeah.
cold yet. The
Yeah.
kid's not cold. Like
Yeah.
he's just hit, but he's not like cold. That's that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a biologist or whatever, but that's
Nah.
no way. Like
Yeah.
that
Also, that kid had a lot of trouble keeping his eyes.
Yeah, I know,
Blinked
I know, I know.
blinked a
It's like, all
lot.
right, this kid is not dead yet, and he does go like, "Daddy," like at the like you know before he dies.
Another quick thing that I thought of that was just like so stupid. Towards the end or whatever, it's I think everyone's dead except for Joel and the two friends or the couple or whatever. There's this one scene where Joel just like flings into the shot and he's just like, oh, and they're just like, oh, and he just like they just cut and it's on the couple and Joel just like literally like someone threw him into the shot and he just lands in front of them like, oh my god, Joe.
Oh, love it,
Yeah,
love
they
it.
really didn't give a
I
fuck.
like that. I liked when the old lady, like you know, when we said we need some of your blood, Ed Harley, to make the pact complete, and she like goes to cut his hand. Man, if he's not dying by Pumpkinhead, he needs to go to the doctor for that cut. Like she really, like he could bleed out from that. Give him a finger prick and give him a little blood. You don't need to like stab through his hand.
She went on the backside of his hand, so she probably nicked that big vein on
Oh
there.
man, did she get it?
Yeah.
Like, damn. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I can't even do this. I gotta go to a doctor right away. Like,
Well, also, what's the witch's MO? Like, she doesn't get anything out of this except for being like, "I told you, Ed Harley, I've got nothing for you," like sort of thing. You're like,
Ed Harley. I like when he asks, like, how will I know which grave it is? Like, you'll know. It's like, oh, it's a gigantic mound of dirt right in the middle. Yeah,
"Oh,
that's definitely the grave. Like, no shit.
leave the boy."
It's like you think like you'll know when you get there. It's like you think there's some like vibe or something
Yeah,
that's gonna like draw him to. No, it's the big fucking
there's
pile of
nothing.
dirt. Like that's the one. You know.
Yeah, there's nothing. But what do you think? What's the witch's game here?
She's there to keep the circle alive, you know. Like she's there like the Barry Pumpkinhead or Barry Ed Harley's, you know, like it
Yeah.
keeps going. Whoever wants vengeance next, maybe it's Bunt someday, because Bunt knows about Pumpkinhead.
Well, there are quite a few sequels to
Oh,
this.
there's too many. One, two, like five too many. I haven't seen any of them, but
No, me neither. It's
I
pretty interesting though that they released it in 1988 and then like in what was it? In October of 1988. So 32 years ago this movie comes out, did horribly and then like let's just release it again. And they released it again in theaters in January of 1989.
damn, yeah,
Can you imagine that would never happen nowadays where
no,
a movie
no,
tanks and they're like, give it like 3 months and just put it in theaters again.
wow, yeah, never, never.
No,
I
but
think
it
it had
made
a pretty big budget for back in the 80s. It was like 3.5 million, which I mean that's not huge, but that's you know for a horror movie that's pretty sizable.
they did a lot for the special effects, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I even though, like, I think they show too much of Pumpkinhead that it makes it, like, not scary almost, it's I mean, they do a good job, like, it is really
Uh,
well especially the last fight scene, like, his face looks really good there. The
what's the lowest age until you're scared of this? Like I was like I don't even think I was scared of this at like 10.
This is a perfect movie for little kids, honestly, it
Yeah,
really is,
this
because
is a good horror movie for like someone who's like 8. It's like oh
yeah, 'cause
Pumpkinhead, and, like
it, like, doesn't make sense really, but, like, if you're a
not
little kid, you're not really gonna be paying attention, and you'll probably be, like, really intrigued by just, like,
like,
the lore of
I'm
it.
more scared of the neighbor's dog than this. Like this isn't like anything. This is
Yeah,
not scary at all.
the movie's not, but I mean, it's a cool idea though. I mean, you go on a trip and then you're marked by this thing that all these people know about. I don't know. It's good for what it is. It's not a bad movie. I mean, it's
Yeah, like the marked, like, oh, you're marked, and if you help anyone out, you're marked too.
record. Okay. Yeah, sorry, we had a little technical difficulty there. We got dropped out. Shit, what were we talking about?
I don't know, Ed Harley.
Ed Harley.
Ed
Yeah,
Harley.
that's like a real American man. I feel like is a guy like
He
that.
drives a Ford like from the '60s or '50s. Carries a shotgun everywhere.
And like that when in the beginning scene when his like son's like trying like tell me a story, dad. Like he's not even looking at him. He's like yeah yeah shut up.
See,
Get
it's like nice. It's got like the harmonica in the background. You got the kid makes. I made you a necklace, daddy. Looks like shit, but the dad's like, oh, I love it. It's the best necklace I ever had. It's like, oh, good whole heart some dad son relationship. Love it.
the music, man. You just mentioned it. I hate the music,
The harmonica, yeah.
dude. It
Yeah, that's my instrument. So
but no, but the harmonica can be good. This sounds like very cheap, shitty
yeah,
90s like harmonica. Like
yeah. Like not even as good as like Old Yeller.
no, like seriously, it sounds like really cheap and cheesy. Like if this, I feel like it's a little ahead of its time. Honestly, this was kind of something in like the early '90s. I feel like a lot of movies had stuff like that, but not scary. It sounds really cheap. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel like all the money went into the special effects because
Oh
the,
yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
actors too. Like, there's not one actor in this that you're like, oh, it's Jennifer Aniston, or like, oh, it's Johnny Depp. Like, there's no one in this.
You could tell by the end of the movie they were like running out of budget. It's like that church at the end was like, oof.
The scene at the church when Pumpkinhead just takes the cross and starts bashing it like on the wall for no
Yeah,
reason.
that was two 2x4s. That wasn't even like a cross. That was someone barely put that together. I was like, we should definitely break that like a cross. Like we gotta make this a movie length. Like
What scene was that?
I
What the
don't know.
hell? What? They're like, I think he's here. And they're like, okay, so we should run. They're like, yeah, you run. And then Pumpkinhead slowly walks through the broken church, finds what looks like a cross, and he's like, I'm mad. And then he hits it on the wall.
Yeah. No, I mean, they were just filling. It was definitely like, all right, we have this great idea for a movie. We're gonna make it happen. The opening scene happens in like 10 minutes. The kid gets killed. Pumpkinhead's there, and it's like, okay, now we got to stretch Pumpkinhead killing people into like an hour. It's like, oh fuck.
The last half an hour is Ed Harley being like, I'll kill him myself. It's like, you gonna die, Ed Harley. And he's like, "Okay."
Ed Harley.
But
I like that name. It's like what's that clothing? Eddie Bauer or whatever. What's that?
no, Ed, I thought it was Ed Hardy,
Ed
right?
Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'd rather it be you wearing Ed Harley clothing. You're
yeah, I'm trying
cool.
to imagine him. Ed Hardy, that's like the douchiest clothes ever.
Said Eddie Bauer. I'm so tired. Like,
He looks like he would wear Eddie Bauer more than Ed Hardy.
oh yeah, totally.
You like the part where like they figure out like, oh, if we shoot Ed Harley, then it will fuck Pumpkinhead up. Like they figure that out at the end.
At
What
the
in the
end.
fuck is happening, dude? He shoots himself in the head, which that's it. And
Yeah,
then Pumpkinhead just like dies and then just gets up. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then Ed Harley's like, I also am fine too, even though I just shot myself in the head with a pistol at point blank range. So he gets up, and then the girl's like, I guess I'll shoot you in the chest 3 times, and that'll kill you. He's like, yeah, that'll do it.
exactly what I just said. They had to stretch it. It's like, okay, we got like another 30 seconds on this movie, like another minute. Like, what do we do? It's like he's not dead instantly. Like, you gotta just stretch it. They
So
stretched the shit out of this movie, dude.
oh, they did it reverse, dude. Shoot him in the chest 3 times, have him fall
Yeah,
on the ground, and then have it not work, and then have him shoot himself in the head and have it work. What
yeah,
the fuck are they doing? He shot himself in the head.
yeah. But they wanted to make it his decision. Like, ultimately, I think like he wanted to end Pumpkinhead. I love how I said like, he wanted to. It's like very serious. Like he wanted to, end Pumpkinhead.
It's a very big
It's
deal.
very serious.
No, dude.
Uh,
There's nothing makes sense. And then all of the attacks, like he just grabs people by the head, drags them out into a field. Why didn't he kill the boyfriend? Why he like murders some people horrifically immediately, and then he drags the other dude like
Oh, he like puts a gun in him. He doesn't even shoot the gun. He's like pointing a gun at him. He just like stabs him with a gun. It's like, damn.
yeah, but the guy is his Steve or whatever, the guy who survives, like he just
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead just like drags him through the woods for a while. He's like, yeah, you can come with me, I guess. Like I like you, but everyone else is gonna get murdered the second I see him.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of just weird choices. I don't know.
for sure, for sure. No other way to say it.
And then The sequels, I kinda looked them up last night because I was like, "How
Oh my god,
how is
no.
this gonna end?" Wait, actually, before anything, the first opening shot is, Ed Harley lighting something on fire with a flamethrower. What is that?
In the like the first shot of the movie?
The first shot of Ed Harley, so after that whole opening scene where they're just like, "Get out of here!" Like, Tucker, or whatever your name is, like, "Let me in!" Like, that whole thing.
Oh yeah, like at the grocery store. What the hell was that?
He has a flamethrower and he's lighting something, so I'm like, was he fighting a pumpkin
I think
head?
he was burning crops or something, like killing bad
What?
crops or something. I don't know. It looks
I
like, I mean, he has the grocery store and he like, he's watering, with the kid at one scene. So maybe he's burning them, burning some bad crops or something. Who the hell knows, dude? Who the
I don't
hell
know, but I was
knows?
like, "Alright," and then they gets a flamethrower and they light the pumpkin head on fire and does nothing. You're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then and then it just ends basically, and I looked up all the sequels because I was like, "How does this, like, continue?" And the second one apparently has nothing to do with the first one and was released, like, 8 years later straight to video.
The original characters in it, or is it?
No, no one's in it. And
I
then
I, I know there's a sequel with Ed Harley back in it, and like it's
2
like
sequels with him in it.
what?
So then yeah, I looked up all this last night because I was like, where did this series
Jeez,
go, and why did
dude.
anybody give a shit? But, I looked up Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes and Pumpkinhead Blood Feud came out in 2006 and 2007, both on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah, apparently really bad. Um, but apparently there's another group of teenagers that comes back and they do something stupid, but now they raise Ed Harley back and he's like the killer or something like that.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Ed Harley or Lance Henriksen specifically said he's like, I was very disappointed with these films.
Really?
Not
Yeah.
this one, but the sequels.
Yeah. No, I would only can only imagine. Yeah, I know he was in like Alien versus Predator too, which was another terrible sequel. I mean,
Well,
um,
he's very interesting, man. Apparently, he dropped out of school in the first grade and didn't learn to read until he was like 30.
that's Ed Harley for you.
That's Ed Harley. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's ain't much of a stretch. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I don't know. I like him. Everything I've ever seen Lance Henriksen, and I like him. And I'm really happy he's the lead in this. So you're like, we get to see him do, for the whole movie as opposed to just being Bishop or
He's also in Terminator, the first one. He's one of the cops or detectives.
yeah. Apparently, he was supposed to be the Terminator.
Yes, yeah, he was actually one of the people up for Terminator, which
Yeah.
is Arnold, OJ, and him. Apparently, OJ
Oh
Simpson
yeah.
wasn't they determined he wasn't much of a killer at the time. He didn't have the killer instinct. He's too nice. I don't know.
I got that wrong.
Oh, good thing.
I don't know. I'm also reading here that they made a first person shooter in 1995 called Bloodwings Pumpkinhead's Revenge, and I'm just like, can you imagine 8 years ago an awful movie came out and it didn't really do very well, and then all of a sudden they make a video game for it like 8 years later.
I remember there's a song called Pumpkinhead that someone sings. I forgot what band. I have Smashing Pumpkins stuck in my head, but it's definitely not Smashing
No,
Pumpkins. But it's a band. I forgot who it is, but
it's a fun movie. It's a stupid movie. I
it's
think
a cult. It's a cult classic. It's a cult classic. There's no other way to say it. It's like either you know it and like, oh, I've seen that movie. It's crazy. It's like what you see at a bar at like 2 a.m. like a random dive bar.
it's like, is that
Like yeah, you know the place I'm talking about, Gotham or whatever the place
Gotham
was.
City Lounge,
That place
Brooklyn?
is amazing. That place should come back.
100% that'd be the place to be playing Pumpkinhead at
Oh,
2
exactly. Did I
on a
just nail
Tuesday
it?
night.
Yeah, exactly. On
Yeah.
a Wednesday night at 2 a.m.
And it's like, I'm glad this is
So,
on.
oh, yeah, love that place. That
What would you do if you were in Pumpkinhead situation? Let's say you were one of the kids that got the blood curse put on them or
I'd
whatever.
just find a way to kick the shit out of Joel. Like that's the first thing. I wouldn't even like that kid Joel or whatever. He's just, ugh, I don't
He
know.
didn't even have a gun or anything, did he?
He hit someone with a log in one of the scenes. He didn't have a gun.
He didn't have a
He
knife
just
or
had a
gun.
leather jacket. He didn't have anything but a leather jacket.
They should have made two of them be assholes because one guy being an asshole and there being like six friends who are,
Everyone else is really nice.
yeah,
He's my brother. Well, leave him the fuck at home. Like no
yeah.
one likes him. He brings us down.
There should have been two people that were like, it's like sit down, like sort of thing. It's like, yeah, like, but for
Yeah.
them to be one, it's like, all right, why don't we all just be like, Joel, go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
and we're all
Yeah, it's
leaving.
like he ultimately that kid could have survived if they got the ambulance there in time,
Mm,
and you know what I mean. And he's pulling yeah. I mean, the kid was probably
that kid was
gone, but
dead. That kid was fucking dead.
yeah, they're in the middle of
But
nowhere.
what would you do? Let's say Joel's
Pumpkinhead's
not in the
after me.
situation. Yeah, you got a mark. It's me, you, a bunch of friends. We're all in the woods, and all of a sudden, one of us kills a kid, and we're like, dude, what the fuck? So, There's a blood curse on us. What do you do?
Dude, I don't even. I'm trying to think of what I would do if like this thing was like kind of like an It Follows thing again. Just get on a boat. Then that thing ain't fucking swimming.
Can it even leave the woods? I
I don't.
mean,
I don't know. I don't know. Like they should do a sequel, Pumpkinhead in the City. Like imagine that thing like in the city and like going on the subway.
oh, I was thinking it was like,
Dude, oh my god, do you remember that thing I sent you on eBay? We found
yeah,
at
yeah,
like
yeah.
at like at like 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night. Hey, I found this thing on eBay. It's like a giant life-size Pumpkinhead thing that some guy has in Illinois for like $2,000.
Yeah.
And it's like we should go get this. And you're like, yeah, you know what? Let's just get it. Like it looks cool.
I think it was like right when quarantine was like right in the middle.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? You know what? I don't give a fuck.
Let's just buy it. Let's just buy this thing. Oh, we got to pick it up. It's in Illinois, which is like 700 miles away from me. I think we can go. We can go.
You know what? You know what? Let's do it.
Why not? YOLO. But where would you put that thing? The giant life-size Pumpkinhead.
Ooh, I mean, I feel like I don't even know if I want it in my bedroom. I probably yeah, because I don't want to be in my room and like look over it and be like,
But the thing is, like, this guy has it, and it's in his room right now. He has it. It looks like it was in his family room. I'm like, this guy has this giant Pumpkinhead like in his like house.
oh, I'm sure if he has a wife, she's not happy about it.
Yeah, I know.
She's like, what is this? She's like, you just
Come on.
shut up.
It's a major award. It's a major award. Like
For some reason, when you said Pumpkinhead in the City, immediately I just thought of a Sex in the City spoof, but with
oh
Pumpkinhead.
my god.
Like, what are you talking about, Pumpkinhead? You can't have that here. And just go like ahead at the bar.
What would you like to see like as a versus, like Pumpkinhead versus Hellraiser?
Nah, no. It'd have to be another monster. So maybe like Pumpkinhead versus Alien or Pumpkinhead versus
Pumpkinhead versus.
I don't know why I feel like Ash versus
Pumpkinhead versus Jeepers Creepers. That'd be a good face off. That's a good one.
I feel like Jeepers Creepers got a little influence from this. There was one scene that reminded me of it. Remember when Joel's girlfriend just gets dropped and you just hear like thud, sort of thing, and they show that you're like, oh, that's kind of like Jeepers Creepers, like it can fly and
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, ooh, one does the cornfield, the other one's the pumpkin patch. Like throw down for turf. Like, and they do like some stupid thing with that. Yeah. Sign me up. I'll watch that at 2 a.m. sometime.
I think it'd be sick if Ash versus Pumpkinhead. That'd be kind of cool.
Ash versus Pumpkinhead. Oh my god.
I mean, Demons in the Woods.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy.
I mean, who knows? You know, maybe the Necronomicon would raise Pumpkinhead.
Ooh, like
maybe
it.
The same thing.
Carrie versus Pumpkinhead. Could watch that.
Sounds kind of dumb.
That would be horrible. Jason versus Pumpkinhead.
I feel Pumpkinhead would win.
Ooh, Chucky versus Pumpkinhead.
That'd be awful.
He just like kicks the doll like 1,000 yards.
Get the fuck over here! Yeah, Pumpkinhead's a tough one. It's a really short movie, and there's really nothing going on.
I know. So. We're even stretching talking about Pumpkinhead. Like they stretched that movie out.
I don't know, man. This is a fun movie if you're having a sleepover when you're in middle school and you got a bunch of friends over, and it's on like AMC at 2 in the morning. It's a fun movie then.
Yeah, that's about it.
Not a classic. Not something I would be like, you haven't seen Pumpkinhead?
Hey, you should watch this. Like if anyone tells you like you should watch Pumpkinhead, it's like, all right, this guy has deep underlying issues.
We're not going to this wedding. Turn around. Let's go. Okay.
Love it, dude. Love it.
Anyways, brah. Yeah, I think we've stretched the Pumpkinhead.
Oh yeah, we've hit this podcast over the head. Like,
why don't we spin the wheel?
It's time to smash this pumpkin and
spin the wheel of horror.
Spin the wheel of horror. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna spin it.
You got a good mic, brah.
Really? Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah. I'm pissed though, cause like my two favorites were the Halloween and the It Follows. So kind of bummed I didn't get a good mic for that, but spinning the wheel now. Oh, you're gonna love this one, Shaun of the Dead. It's not really a horror movie, but one we could definitely dive into and talk about.
Finally, one I own every day, dude. I'm giving Jeff Bezos $4.
You gotta keep paying.
I gotta buy more. Thank you guys for listening in. I hope you're enjoying this. We are about almost a third of the way through now. It's really been going along.
Yeah, keep it up.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, brah. And let's enjoy a little comedy.
Yeah. Oh, this will be a good one.